This video will be a quick overview of how I create my own custom models for upscaling. This isn't a model I use regularly. I'm just showing that I don't rely on software like Topaz, Nero AI, or similar tools. I've never found a model that I truly liked, and once I realized I could train my own, I decided to give it a try. There are some great models out there that are good enough for most projects, but I wanted more. The models I tried were fine for general viewing, but when you zoom in or start editing, you could notice issues like excessive noise reduction, loss of detail, a plastic-like look, or sometimes a slight shine. Occasionally there were artifacts, or if the noise wasn't properly reduced, the image would be too sharp and noisy. What I was really after was a model that could stay as close as possible to the original, maybe a little sharper, but without looking overdone or unnatural. For me, the goal is to maintain a balance. I want the option to reduce noise without losing too much detail. Some people don't mind noise at all, while others prefer to minimize it. Personally, I don't mind a little noise. It doesn't bother me as much as it might on newer TVs or 4K displays, where it can be distracting. On older TVs or CRTs, it wasn't as noticeable. So I prefer to denoise as much as I can without losing detail, keeping just enough noise to blend in any minor imperfections that might become more noticeable without it. For my workflow, I usually go for a 50-50 noise reduction if the noise is too much, or 75-25 for most videos. That way, when I upscale, nothing is lost in the process. There's no over-sharpening or unnatural enhancements. This video is just a quick demonstration to show that the models I use are all custom-made by me. Every video on my channel is a one-of-a-kind creation. I don't use other people's work or try to pass it off as my own. Even if something is in the public domain, I don't reuse content. It's always unique to my channel. I do this because I enjoy the process and hope others will appreciate the results. I also handle my own color grading and SDR to HDR conversions. Since color is subjective, I approach it the way I like, and I understand that not everyone will share my preferences. That's okay. My goal is to make older videos, cartoons, and films more enjoyable to watch on modern TVs, so they look better than just standard or high-definition content. I want to preserve the integrity of the original footage, ideally in its native form, but with the added benefit of HDR for improved contrast, not just brightness. Lastly, I hope to eventually convert all my edits to 5.1 surround sound, or at least 3.1, to include a proper center channel and left-right speakers. The challenge with 5.1 audio is often with the left and right surround channels. There are programs that upscale audio, but most of them don't offer true surround sound. They often just pan or stretch the front channels to create the illusion of surround. My goal is to separate the audio into individual stems, then manually adjust it to create a real 5.1 or 3.1 mix. In some cases, I might even remove certain parts of the audio and add them to the left and right surrounds to create an immersive experience that wasn't possible in the original. While this may not be perfect, it's a passion project, just a hobby I do to breathe new life into old video. Hopefully, some people will appreciate the effort that goes into it. The process of training models can take anywhere from days to weeks, and it doesn't always work out the way I want it to. I use anywhere from 10,000 to over 100,000 images to train each model, pulling from public domain films, Creative Commons works, public datasets, and AI-generated content. The GUI I use to build and test these models is something I spent weeks creating and refining with AI through multiple trials. Everything you see on my channel is truly one of a kind. You won't find anywhere else. If you enjoy what I do, please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when a new release is published. Thanks. If you made it past my rambling, feel free to skip to the end to see how the actual film does as well.